this process is about so much more than just ticking academic boxes. It forms who you are as a designer. I'm Sam G, a triple registered architect who has practiced across South Africa, Australia, and the USA. This is your design passport. Real stories, practical pathways, and global design ideas to help you build a career and a life that travels with you. Ready? Let's stamp your passport. Hey everyone, welcome back to Your Design Passport. I'm your host, Sam G, architect, traveler, and your guide on this journey of building a design career that can cross borders. Today we're kicking off on a two-part mini-series that I know so many of you have asked for. How do you actually become a registered architect in South Africa? If you're dreaming of studying architecture, currently in the trenches of studio, or you're planning to eventually take your South African qualification abroad, this episode is your roadmap. And trust me, I'm weaving in the stories, the struggles, the moments that almost broke me, and the surprises that shaped me, because this process is about so much more than just ticking academic boxes. It forms who you are as a designer. All right, let's begin where every good passport story starts, the origin. Confession time. Architecture wasn't my first plan. Growing up, I went through cycles of thinking I was going to be a lawyer, a veterinarian, a marine biologist, and eventually I was convinced I was going to be a pilot. I even had my heart set on SAA cadet school. Then came the tiny, slightly inconvenient detail: I didn't take physical science. So my original intention was to study architecture and study Stats 101 on the side. And somewhere between, maybe I'll fly planes, and sure, I'll take stats, I somehow found myself in architecture. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Nothing is ever on the side in architecture. Architecture is the side. Architecture is the main. Architecture is the whole damn buffet, the dessert, and the takeaway container. Stats never stood a chance. And honestly, I've never looked back. Well, maybe just a little. Before you even step foot into a studio, let's talk about what you actually need in South Africa to study architecture. This is the checklist I wish someone had handed me. Pure mathematics, non-negotiable. Maths literacy unfortunately won't get you accepted. English, home language or first additional language. You'll write a lot and you'll communicate ideas constantly. Physical science, not essential, I didn't take it, but helpful for understanding structures. I did, however, take biology, which was a science-based subject, and back then it was acceptable. Many universities still allow this. Nice to haves, visual arts, engineering, graphics, and design both give you early exposure to line, form, and spatial thinking. APS scores, most universities look for a 30 to 34 plus. UP, when I applied, didn't require a portfolio. Some schools now do, so check this early. Quick tip, start sketching, observe buildings, practice visual communication. It's not about talent, it's about building a design voice. Now, studio culture. If you've studied architecture, you already feel a bit triggered hearing that phrase. At UP, our studios were, how do I put this politely? Delightfully ugly. Bokunda, our architecture building. We famously had one of the least aesthetic buildings on campus. Inside we had drawing boards from the Jurassic era, stools that wobbled for sport, scraps of foam and plywood everywhere, but it was ours. Studio is an ecosystem, and you'll meet every creature. The morning people, the professional all-nighters, the ghostly figures who practically live under their desks, the people who survived on coffee, crackers, and pure fear. I commuted every day, but I had my little group. Our snacks, our music, and our designated box milk taster, who would bravely sniff and declare whether our cupboard milk was safe for tea. We had our daily pilgrimage across the road to the town planning campus for lunch, or the 5 Rand Chelsea buns at the student centre. Those small rituals, they are what carry you through the chaos. Studio culture teaches you resilience, camaraderie, and how to work through a deadline you absolutely do not want to face. Let's talk about the emotional side, because architecture school, it humbles you. Fast. I remember coming home from a maths class, absolutely defeated, ugly crying, full meltdown. I told my dad, "Dad, I don't think this architecture thing is for me." He said, "Samantha, the first year is hard. It's different. If you still hate it after giving it a full year, you can change. But right now, do not quit." That advice stayed with me. Architecture is a marathon of small breakdowns and massive breakthroughs. If you're listening to this and you're in your first year, questioning everything, you are not alone. And you're not behind, you're becoming. Before we wrap part 1, here's what you can do now if you're on this journey. Start sketching daily, visit buildings and analyze why they work, build visual vocabulary, learn basic design software, connect with other students, stay curious. Curiosity is your biggest asset. In part 2, we pick up exactly where this leaves off. We're diving into mentorship, my thesis on adaptive reuse, candidacy hours, SACAP logbooks, how to choose the right firm, and of course, the PPE exam. This is where you move from architecture student to future professional. See you in part 2.